people that want to sell your home. I wanted to get on here really quickly because I'm seeing some signs and I felt like you should know about it. Because believe it or not, there are some clear signs right now that buyer interest is heating up. I know you're going to be really excited about that. So let me talk about what I saw today and what's really going on behind the scenes and why the housing market, well, it might not be as quiet out there as you think it is. And yes, you guys know I've been sharing on this channel for many months, as have other real estate professionals, that the markets that we have here in both Manatee and Sarasota County, well, they're basically, I would say, all of Florida for the most part. All of our markets have been slowing down. Prices are coming down. There are more days on the market, and we are now in more of a buyer's market than we have been over the past 3 or 4 years. But for real estate data lovers like myself, we are watching daily lots of data because we want to gauge what the current real estate market is doing, not just locally, but across the country. Because remember, Florida is still seeing people move to our state, and therefore it's really important for those of us that are in this professional business. We also need to know what's going on in all of the other states, right? We need to watch that data too. Where are they moving? Are they coming here? So I want you to know that we're watching buyers and sellers, what they're doing in other states. And one of the clearest ways to measure what people are thinking about is to look, guess what, at what they're searching for online. You're searching, I'm searching, and we can track what people are searching online.
Have you been following me?
And according to Google Trends, searches for phrases like homes for sale or home for sale have been climbing steadily during this year. So here's this really cool graph I want you to see, and it shows an index of those two common home buyer search phrases, homes for sale or home for sale, and how popular they were on Google over the past 2 years. And as you see, the higher the line goes, the more popular that phrase was. And that 100 that's on the graph there, that shows the most popular time that each phrase was at its peak. And here's what really stands out in this data. Both phrases have been trending up overall this year, and they actually hit a recent high, if you see right here, in mid-July, so just a few weeks ago. And that's a pretty strong sign that curiosity and maybe even good buyer interest in buying a home is improving. Of course, that kind of momentum definitely means something. You Google stuff all the time. I Google stuff all the time. So even despite high mortgage rates, which you guys have been watching over the last week, they have been down. And of course, despite higher home prices, buyers are not giving up.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
They're still out there watching the market. They are still browsing. And of course, as you know, many of them are just waiting for the right opportunity to hop off that fence and of course act, right? Start looking at houses again. Mortgage pre-approvals are going to be higher, that sort of thing. And remember, maybe your house is exactly what they're looking for, but you're not going to know, of course, until you list it, but maybe your home is what they're looking for. And you ask, why have they been on the fence? Well, you'd be on the fence too if you were a buyer. Think about what's been going on since the beginning of 2025. We have all of the new tariffs, and we've talked about that on other videos on this channel. What does that mean? So, people are watching that. And then, of course, we have this kind of feud going on between our new government and, of course, the feds. Because our government is saying, hey, feds, you need to lower that interest rate so that the mortgage rates can come down and people can, jump off the fence and start buying houses again. So you've got that going on. Of course, you've got the labor stats that are coming out. They're looking better than people thought. You guys have watched Wall Street lately. It's going crazy. I think that's great. I wish I had more stocks so I could make more money. But anyway, for those of you that are watching your stocks take off and do really well, I think that's awesome. You also have, of course, not just the jobs market, but just the numbers overall. The economy is looking strong. Now, we also have all of the war things going on and the rumors of war. And so, of course, buyers are out there. They're very cautious because I think buyers are really savvy because they have the internet. They can watch YouTube. They can watch, do Google searches like we're talking about today. So these buyers are pretty savvy and they are watching how things happen. But I do believe as we're seeing that rate, as a matter of fact, we've seen more people jump off the fence over the last week with the rates going down. A lot of people are saying, I don't want to wait anymore. I can't wait anymore. We're going to go ahead and jump in now. And as the rates get lower, if we can refi later, we can do that too. So there is a lot to be said about people that are using Google searches to trend for buying homes and that sort of thing. So if you're a seller, you need to keep this in mind. It's something that really could indicate that we're going to see buyers jump off that fence really soon. Now, guys, listen, this does not mean that demand is going to surge like it did during the pandemic. We're not going to see that happen. But again, what it does mean is that some of those buyers are deciding that they really can't wait any longer. And sellers, those are exactly the kind of buyers that you want, right? They're motivated, they're eager, and they're ready to move when the right house comes along. So sellers, if you are holding off on selling because you're not sure if the demand is there yet, I want you to keep an eye on this data that I shared today about buyer interest because it is suggesting that it might be time for you to rethink your selling plans. And again, I know it's not 2021 kind of demand, and it really doesn't need to be, right? You don't need 10 buyers to buy your house. It's like I tell people all the time, there's billions of people in the world. You just need one person, the right buyer for your house. And that buyer may be searching for a house just like yours right now. So again, sellers, if you've been thinking, well, I'll sell my house once all of those buyers come back, well, you might want to take another look because these online search engines, these online search trends, they're showing that buyers are already interested and they're starting to look again. And I think that rate coming down this week kind of edged that on. So what should you do in the meantime if you're a seller? You need to get your home ready to sell. You need to fix things that you know are going to be an issue and come up on an inspection. Or you might want to have an inspection yourself. A lot of sellers are doing that before they even list their home so that you know already what's wrong with your home. And home sellers, if your home is older, you need to make sure that your mechanicals and your roof are in great shape or, better yet, newer. You also need to make smart home improvements that are going to motivate buyers to choose your house over all that competition out there. And I just made this video about what might hurt you and what might help you as far as home improvements go. And really, if you don't know what's going to give you the most bang for your buck, be sure to watch this video here about what could hurt you and what could help you. And of course, talk to your professional real estate advisor who knows what your home may or even may not need to get it sold for top dollar in whatever market you live, whatever state that you live. And seriously, guys, choose a great, experienced real estate agent wherever you live. They're going to help you position your house in that market to attract as many buyers as possible. And you need an agent who knows how to properly leverage social media marketing to make your home stand out in a sea of tons of other houses for sale. And not to mention new construction builders who are offering lots of buyer incentives and puppies and kittens and a new kidney and Botox injections.
Botox injection today. And then you got all your wrinkles are gone.
Well, they're not really offering that, but you know what I mean. They're offering a lot. But your house has to be able to compete. So I want you to be encouraged, home sellers. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this buyer search trend along with all of the other buyer trends so that I'm always keeping you up to date. So in order for you to stay up to date, you gotta make sure to subscribe to this channel so you can stay on top of what's happening in the real estate world, and especially in the neck of the woods where we live here in Manatee and Sarasota County. So don't be shy. Hit me up if you'd like to chat, or maybe you'd like me to explain how I sell homes here in these markets, or maybe you just need some coaching on how to get your home ready for the market. I'd really love to talk with you. I'm talking to a lot of you every week. A lot of you aren't quite ready yet, but we're getting you ready, telling you what you should and shouldn't do to get your home ready. So hit me up. I am Catherine Newman. I look forward to seeing you next time. See you then.